Brought to you by Alphabet. Let's see if it makes us any smarter, actually. Okay, so, yeah, well, we were talking about dogs and leashes, but the thing that I wanted to ask you once we got on, which I think we're on, we're good.
Are we rolling?
We're rolling. Okay.
Wow.
So the thing is, what's it, Puppy Co? The new puppy store in Twin Falls?
Oh, puppies? I don't know. I haven't looked into it. I just see everyone pissed off about it on Facebook.
Oh, yeah. Well, so yeah, people have been protesting it. Like, Irvina told me that too. And now you're
it's
the
like,
second person.
I think it's like a puppy mill. Like, I don't really know. It's just like a store. They can buy, it's like a store where you can buy puppies now.
Oh, okay.
And people are, because our shelters are full. I know that. Yeah. So that's where it's a big problem right now. But I mean, I'm honestly not too informed on it.
Yeah. Well, what's your point? What's your point of view on that?
I mean, I feel like I don't have enough knowledge on the topic to have an opinion. Really.
Oh, really?
I mean, it does suck
you have all expertise before you have an opinion.
I mean, I feel like that's to at least be informed about it before I make it. Because I haven't looked into the new store, so I don't really know what they're about or where they get their puppies from. Any of that.
But where would you stand? Where's your morals lie on that? Are you against breeding? Do you think everyone should just adopt a rescue dog?
I mean, I can't.
You're scared.
I'm not scared. It's not even a scared answer. It's just like I've never really thought about it a lot. I mean, if you can adopt, because that'd be awesome. Because I mean, there obviously is a problem here with the shelter being full. But I mean, I don't really got it. Like my last dog, I got from a client walking in saying, "Hey, anyone got a dog? Anyone want a dog? We have to take it to the shelter tonight if we can't find a home for it." So I was like, "All right, I'll take it." Now here we are, like a year and a half later, still have the dog.
Yeah, and I bought Bosco. I actually split it with my mom. I feel he doesn't have papers or anything. Everybody always was asked if he's a purebred German Shepherd. But I wonder in the same space of, well, people shouldn't have babies anymore. They should just adopt. There's kids who need homes out there. But humans are different than an animal. So there's like a moral.
Yeah.
You people want to have a biological desire to have your own babies. And it's like, that's one thing you cannot take the right away from, even when there's like overpopulation probably totally occurring. And there's unrestricted people. When I was in India, dude, there was like homeless people who had like an army of kids running around getting money for them.
That is wild.
I don't know if all the kids are them, but the guy I was rolling with there said that's what they do.
Yeah. I just saw a thing. I think it's in China where their population rate was actually like 2 people died for every 1 born or something.
Oh, was like flipping?
Like it's flipping, and like the majority of their age bracket is like 60 and up. So like they could really run into like a population crisis.
Oh,
like,
shoot, that's crazy. Elon Musk always acts like he's nervous about that.
Yeah, I don't. Again,
there's too much for us to be. There's too much for us to be nervous about out there. Honestly, you got to pick and choose what you're nervous for and what you stand for. Really. Back to the puppy thing. What do we stand for? But there's a part of me.
Because same thing. I bought my first dog, and then my second's technically a rescue in a sense. Like.
Yeah. The thing about the puppy thing though is I'm so pro freedom, like in America, and like thinking that people should have the right to pursue their happiness. And at what point do you go, that people can have we could just look at our cell phones to be like, this is too fucked up. There's moral boundaries happening here where we shouldn't be even using these. But you're going to draw them on puppies?
Yeah, for real.
Because there's luxury out there. People want luxury. I want a purebred for this. I want a Ferrari. I want an iPhone. But puppies is where you go, no, get the puppy in the damn shelter. We have a very strong attachment to puppies. They're so damn cute.
Just like, any movie, you can kill a human all you want. You kill a dog? Hell no.
John Wick kills like 100 people because they killed his puppy.
Exactly.
And I'm like, good.
Yeah, you can't.
Kill them all. That puppy needs more vengeance than that, honestly. Kill them all.
Yeah, see, then the little pit bull that he gets to the end, that looks like my rescue. It's a little blue-nosed pit.
That's dope, dude.
See, I rescued one just like John Wick.
I've never seen your dog. You're gonna, huh? Wait, you never take your dog to the barbershop?
No, because that's actually illegal.
Oh, that seems like such an image of a barbershop. Like a pit bull, like lounging down.
If an inspector came in, I would get for the camera one time. I'm like,
whichever one point it.
I'm like, double look.
That's a
my
cute
mom
puppy.
texted me too.
Yeah, how's the barbershop? Speaking of the barbershop, just opened last time that we did this. Last
time I was talking about wanting to open a barbershop, and now here I am with the barbershop. Yeah. So I opened Bridge City Barber here in Twin. I'm actually as of now fully staffed. I'm actually going to have a grand opening. I haven't announced this anywhere, so exclusive. First,
a Jason Turner podcast exclusive.
But we're going to have a grand opening on Saturday, April 27th. I mean, I've been in there since December, but now that we're fully staffed, have everyone, we're going to have some giveaways going and just give a chance for everyone that hasn't checked it out to come check it out if they want and take a look around and stuff.
Tons of giveaways. One of them that is awesome was, you told me, was the 6 months of haircuts.
Yeah.
Free haircuts or something.
So any client of mine, so this one's only for my return clients. It can't be a new client. I'm going to give away 6 months worth of free haircuts or 6 haircuts, whichever comes first, you know. So I'm going to give you a haircut once a week for 6 months.
Every day. It was like fresh every morning.
Yeah, so that's what I'm going to do. Another one that's like a nice beard trimmer with some beard oil and things, like beard care. And then,
dude, you know what you should throw in? Some of that samurai to freaking Musashi. Yes. So what do we call it?
Hanzatori
Hanzo.
My shears that are just like $1,000.
Kill Bill, not Pulp Fiction. Right?
Yeah, Kill Bill is in... Hanzo's in Kill Bill.
Hanzo. Okay, that's
Hanzatori
right.
Hanzo.
Hanzo.
Samurai.
Yeah, that's what we talked about last time. It's a very blurry memory last time. Yeah, but we went for a long time. How long did we go last time?
That was your record at the time. I don't know. It was like almost 2 hours.
Was it almost or over? It had to be over.
It might have been over.
I think it was over. We went late into the night. It was like the more sunrise is coming up.
It's like whenever I'm giving you a haircut, it's like we could keep going for hours anyways.
So you're not going to be protesting Puppy Co?
I will just...
You piece of shit.
And that's another thing. Like, I view it as a business owner now too. I was like, you know how bad it's got to suck to be so excited to open your first brand new business, and then you just have everyone protesting it when it's like I said, I don't know the background of where this guy gets his dogs, what he's...
Those puppies usually look kind of happy though.
Yeah.
And they let you go and play with them.
And I feel like anyone that opens a business with animals typically loves animals, you know?
Yeah.
Like I'm not going to open business with a bunch of dogs if I hate dogs, dude. Like,
although I only go to PetSmart because when I had experiences with Petco where I'm like, this doesn't look like they give a fuck. Like leopard geckos stacked on each other like crazy.
I had a leopard gecko,
and they're supposed to have space, a little bit of space for themselves.
I mean, I had one in a whole tank by himself.
Yeah. Oh yeah. How long you have him? That a lot of years because they live like 15 years.
I only had mine for like 5 years, I want to say. He just died this last year.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
Oh, what? Rest in peace.
Yeah.
Little guy.
Rest in peace.
T-Rex.
Cupid. That was his name. We got him on Valentine's Day.
What color? Yellow?
Yellow.
Nice.
Yeah.
You know they make, there's like fancy ones they make. There's like white ones and like, have you seen those fancy
So when I was younger, I had one that probably was like 10 years. I had him forever. But he was like almost, what's that word? See-through transparent.
Oh, what?
Yeah, like you could shine a light through him, and you could see like all of his insides.
What the freak?
He was like, like when you look at him in the dark, it was like almost like a greenish color.
Whoa,
but like a
dark. What the hell?
Yeah, but yeah, I always had this weird thing with reptiles. Like I'd go catch snakes and lizards.
Oh my
and stuff
gosh, you're like a loveless dude. That's what they are. You know how many reptiles they had growing up?
How many?
They had like freaking like 6 like cages of snakes and like a pit of like rats to feed the snakes, and it's just like super Steve Irwin like lifestyle. How many freaking
crikey?
Yeah, how many reptiles did you have?
I had the ones I'd catch. Like sometimes I'd catch them and keep them in a cage for a while, and then re-release them in the canyon.
What?
Yeah, so I'd catch wild. I'd catch one.
Oh,
catch them and keep them.
Wild boy, dang.
Yeah,
those desert lizards are quick too.
Oh yeah,
they instant transmit, dude.
And if you are laid on it and you grab their tails break off, just like yeah. That's the creepiest looking thing. But so I mean, I went through a lot.
And they grow back in like 2 weeks or something, right?
It's crazy, and that's why geckos fell off once, and that one's gross because like you see it slowly grow back. I'm like,
have you ever seen I think it's called a skink? They're like almost like a snake with legs.
Like
it's a long
salamander?
They're long lizards here that live in the desert. I feel like it's a skink. I don't know if I even have my phone. I'm going to look it up. I got to look.
We don't have AI this time.
Oh yeah, actually I do, but I think I'm gonna look up skink on Google. ChatGPT is only a little bit useful. Yeah, totally a skink. This thing.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
That thing
almost looks like a salamander. Looks more
the
desert-y.
skinks are a large family. And that just ending it at that point just makes it sound like some wholesome, like proud family, like a large family, no divorces. Okay, the skinks are a large family of lizards with species on nearly every continent and many oceanic islands. Okay, so they just have gotten everywhere. Yeah, those are weird looking motherfuckers. They're so long. That's why I said they look like a snake.
Oh yeah.
They're weird.
What pets did you have growing up?
Just dogs, and actually we had ferrets once.
Ferret. Oh, my cousin had ferrets,
and my sister had turtles.
And I had turtles too.
My brother got a rat once.
I had a rat before too.
No way, you've had like everything. Holy shit!
So I had a rat. I had 2 little turtles, a bunch of snakes and lizards, dogs. Never had cats. I'm like deathly allergic to cats.
Oh.
Yeah, you just won't be able to breathe.
So the cat rampage in your neighborhood is a problem.
Yeah, it's a problem. Yeah, so I can't even. There's this big feral cat community right by my house, and they straight up have cat fights. So there's like multiple nights in a row where my dogs were just freaking the hell out, and I had no idea why by my front door. So then one night I actually went out, like I hear it, and I just walk out, and there's like 6 cats having Fight Club on my front porch. So my dogs are freaking out this whole time. And then I realized why my front patio furniture gets covered in hair all the time is because all the cats just chill right there. But I mean, I have watched them like chase a squirrel up a telephone pole. Like they get at it.
They're agile as hell. They just seem so perfect.
Like just complete feral. And because we live right, so it's the field between mine and your house that they all hunt in. Like so that field that's towards my road.
Oh yeah.
In Grandview. I live on the other side of this field.
So they're just eating all the rodents in there. The farmer probably likes it.
Yeah. But I don't.
Yeah. Are you feeling like allergic?
Like that's what I'm saying. I go sit out my front porch and it's like I'm gonna have an asthma attack. But yeah, so I can't sit in my seats. I have like pressure wash them during the summer.
Oh my gosh, that sucks, dude. That sucks. What the heck, dude? What's wrong with your body? Why are they not cooperating with cats?
That's what I always thought. Like allergies are just a weird concept to me.
I hate allergies. I get like sagebrush allergies, and Bosco, where's he at?
Yeah, like this time.
Is he by you?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Bosco gets crazy environmental allergies as well in the summer.
Yeah, mine's like seasonal and starts like right about now. Like I've already been feeling it like the past week.
Oh crap! Like our noses, how we had to go blow our nose.
Don't want no boogies on the podcast.
Yeah.
Special guest.
Dude, because places like Turkey, where I was just at in Istanbul, they are like very symbiotic with cats there. Like cats roam everywhere. And people leave food out for cats. It's very common. They leave food out all over the place for cats.
Yeah.
There's got to be people like you in Turkey though, right?
Oh, I'm
Who
sure.
are like, why the fuck am I in this country, dude? I'm allergic. They gotta move out.
Allergic to the air.
Yeah, cats are dope though. I for some reason when I was a kid growing up, I feel like you get pinned against cats as a boy. Right? It's like cats suck. Dogs are awesome.
It's like, but there's like very distinct dog people, cat people.
Yeah.
I feel like there's very rare both people.
Yeah. Well, once you get older, then you realize they're both just awesome. But I think at the beginning, it's like dogs are kind of like a masculine energy, and cats are like that feminine energy.
Dogs are like, "Oh, I love you, thank you, master," and then cats look at you like, "Yeah, that's right, my servant."
Yeah, you're lucky you're in my presence. I'll allow you to pet me.
Yeah, and then when I'm done letting you pet me, I'm gonna just start biting you.
That's enough. That's enough. Yeah, cats are just so sassy.
See, and I feel like I would actually really like to have a cat, but I can't.
Yeah, biology is not in your favor.
But I'd like to breathe a little more than I want a cat. So.
Breathing is nice. So you got 2 dogs?
Yep, 2 dogs. Beasley is my yellow lab, and then Lilo is my little blue nose pit.
And a small human.
Yep, and the small human named Carson.
You got to take them both to the park.
Yep.
As often as you can.
Oh, they take each other outside and run around and tire each other out. It's nice.
It's funny because when you were coming here once, you're talking about like, oh, I wanted to take my kid somewhere before it got late. Like, I feel like I owe it to him, like, to take him out or something. And it just reminds me of how I feel about my dog. I'm like taking your kid out, like making your kid go do some things. Like, you want to entertain him a little bit in the day.
Like, I need to take my dog out. I feel so bad.
Yeah, you feel that same responsibility, like that same mindset of like, oh shit, I should probably like take him to do something.
But that's the nice thing about having an 8-year-old is like it keeps the dogs nice and entertaining. He loves it.
Good match.
Oh yeah.
That's nice.
That's cool because it's like Beasley we've had since my son was 2. And so like cool to see him like grow up together too.
Beasley's the pit?
No, he's the yellow lab.
Oh.
Pitt's the rescue that I got. Like,
is he hard at all? Is it difficult?
Oh no.
With others, have you ever had to worry about like him being aggressive around others?
My dog?
Yeah.
That's
always friendly?
Always friendly.
Really?
Like,
That's awesome.
I'd almost be
Wow.
like if someone broke in, I think they would just lick him to death.
No way.
I've only seen like my dog get like protective once, and it was my son walked in the room first, and then one of my friends that hadn't been there walked in right after him, and he started like charging, and then I walked next, and then my dog just hit the brakes on the hardwood floor and just slid. He's like, "Oh, we're good, all right."
He's like, okay, this isn't a killer about to get him from behind.
Yeah, so that's why I was like, I think they really only get protective over like my son.
That's cool. Because they're like nanny dogs, right? Mm-hmm. Isn't that what they're bred for? To like protect children?
Oh, yeah.
So it's perfect. It's in their genetics. Mm-hmm. Yeah, unlike Bosco, he wants to fucking attack everybody that comes to our gateway. He thinks that he's the gatekeeper, dude. He has the guard dog energy deep in him. It's so hard to shake.
Yeah. Can't get the cop out of him.
Yeah, but he's not a snitch though. He's not a snitch. That's the one thing I was just complaining about. People around where I live, I feel like
keep the dog on a leash.
Yeah, hopefully they're not getting snitch behavior because I spent a lot of time training my dog. Everyone's getting like real upset about
well trained.
Yeah, I mean I can control him. That's for sure. If I want him to be somewhere, he'll be where I want him to be. And that's what sucks about everybody getting all angry about dogs on a leash and stuff because I can't just step outside to let him go to the bathroom without people bitching at me about get your dog on a leash.
Oh yeah. See, my dogs are like selectively smart and well behaved. It's like if they know there's nothing I can do to stop them, whatever. But then it's at the same time I can set food on their paw without them eating it. I'm like,
Did you train them to do that?
Yeah, like, I mean, I'll just tell them basically just no.
Oh, yeah.
Until I say yes, then you can eat it. And I did that just in case, like, when I had a child, like, if they drop something on the floor that they're not supposed to eat, so they respond instantly, like, no, don't eat that.
Nice.
So that way it's like
now
kind
the
of
default is to wait.
Yep, so I just set it on them, and, like, I'll set it on their paw and be like, no, and then when I say okay, now you can eat it.
Nice. They'll always wait though first.
But at the same time, if they can get out my front yard, they'll think, "Oh, you can't catch me now."
Oh, really? Then they don't.
But then I'll just put my tailgate down. I'm like, "You guys want to go bye-bye?" They're like, "Oh yeah," and then come right back in the garage, and they're like,
It's always about what's more fun, and that's what I learned in this course I took, Sexier Than a Squirrel, and it makes everything like you hand feed them, and you do games with the food when you feed them, and it's to build like a bond. I really like that course because it's like to build a bond with your dog. So whenever you call them, they're excited to come hang out with you because it's like you play games with them all the time.
Oh my gosh!
So it's a fun option.
Yeah,
and that's why they call the course Sexier Than a Squirrel because they see a squirrel that's really fun, but then they see you and you're like, oh, he's sexy. I'm gonna go fuck him.
Doggy style for real.
Yeah, I'm like, it's so funny they chose Sexier, but that's a good marketing because it's catchier.
Oh yeah.
Sex sells.
No, that's literally part of the reason I came up with Bridge City Barber is the B and the B and Bridge and Barber.
Oh yeah,
because I had the logo already drawn before, like I came up with the name, and then I like matching letters like that.
Oh, nice.
So that was where I got Bridge City Barber.
Nice, dude. That's a good nickname for this place.
I know. Like I'm surprised that it hasn't been used around here. Like because it's like Snake River everything.
Yeah.
But I was like, I feel like we're known
Magic
for our
Valley.
bridge. Yeah. So it's like
Bridge
Prime.
City. Yeah, yours. That's pretty original. That's original.
I could see it like actually like
Bridge City, Bridge City,
like Bridge City HVAC, Bridge City Electrical.
Now
like
we
just watch this kind of like it would start spreading. I wouldn't even be mad. I think that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, we need to call out to all the local artists out there. Y'all need to start, especially musicians, start writing songs with the word Bridge City in it.
City.
And then we're going to officially have started a movement.
Yes.
And I'll know the guy who started it, the founder of Bridge City.
Yeah, I feel like I still have like imposter syndrome. Like even when I go into like my shop, I'm like, I don't own this place. I'm like, I just work here.
Yeah. How awesome has it been?
I mean, like I said, it doesn't really feel real. Like, I don't know if it's like I can't give myself enough credit or if I just feel lucky. I just like this kind of just happened. But it's like, but I think that keeps me humble and it keeps me grateful for it because it feels like I feel like I could be gone just as fast as I got it.
Yeah. So I was going to ask, do you feel worried now that you have more responsibility? Like, it's the more that you can lose now, you know, the more you gain, the more you can lose. So then it gets scary.
It's more of like the thing that scared me a lot in the beginning, like while hiring people is like, you know, if someone gets a bad haircut or a bad experience with someone else in my shop, that still goes on me now instead of just my haircuts, just my.
Yeah. The responsibility factor.
Yeah. So it's like, you know, if someone gets upset with one of my other barbers, I have to handle it now as the manager instead of just managing my own stuff, you know?
Yeah.
I got to worry about all the moving parts. But at the same time, I also...
Now you got to be a boss.
But I don't like the word boss.
A leader.
Like, I mean, not even that. Like, I it's like... It's like, I want everyone to feel... And that's what I even tell like to my team is like, I want everyone to feel like this is their shop too, that they can bring their family here, they can hang out here. Because it's like different in an industry where they pay you to work here instead of me paying them to work there. You know, it's like I'm just giving them the space and they're paying to work here. I feel that way. It's like it's almost like renting a room in a house. Like I feel like you should be able to do what you want in that room.
How do you go about keeping them passionate in their own like creative realm while also upholding a certain standard for your brand though? Yeah,
and that's where it's like. When I like my mentality going into like the people that I pick to work at my shop and stuff is like, I can help someone get better at cutting hair, but I can't help someone not be an asshole. So it was more about like, you know, like just vibe, environment, customer service aspect where it's like, I can do things like host like cutting classes at the shop and stuff. If I want to help teach people how to get better at cutting hair, but it's like personality wise dealing with clients, I can't change that about who you are as a person. But that's where, and then that's also the nice thing about where they pay me to work there instead of me paying them is like, if you don't make money, that doesn't affect me, honestly, you know? So I feel like that's where this industry kind of looking for that self-driven, but I'm going to do everything I can to help boost them where I'm so booked out. I don't really humbly need to market myself anymore, but now I can market the shop and build their brand too.
Do you feel like you just like you're just like living by example?
Basically,
the shop, like they pay for the rent space and then they get to just watch you this is your barbershop. You've been doing this a long time.
Like I did this. That's the crazy thing. I've only been cutting hair longer than one person in my shop.
Oh, what?
And it's, I mean, cause like I've only been since I went to barber school in January of 2020. So it's like to have my own shop and everything
like,
by now.
Like legally cutting hair.
Yeah. But that's what I'm saying. Like, it's crazy that,
because you've been cutting since 15, right?
Yeah. But I mean, that was like kind of very seldomly, you know, sometimes like in high school, it was more often just like my friends wanted me to cut their hair and stuff. And then I've cut my hair, I've cut my son's hair his whole life, which I mean, I basically had him when I was a kid. Yeah. I was 20, but.
And now you're about to be 30.
Yeah.
Old
in
ass.
July.
Dang.
Like 3 months,
you're
like 3.5 months
too. Just kidding.
But
you're gonna look younger than all of us, dude. You just got a baby face, and you're just
that's like
petite build.
how many people have walked in and like started talking to someone like, oh, who's the owner? Like, oh, that guy that you walked past. Like, no way, it's the kid.
Yeah, just someone's kid running around here.
But that's like going back to what I was saying is like I get to show them like, hey, I did this quick, and I might be one of the most booked out barbers in Twin, if not the most booked out barber in Twin right now. And so it's like, hey, I'm going to show you how I did this. You know, if you want to watch me, I'm not saying everything I do is correct, you know?
Yeah.
But like, hey, this is how I got here. And I'd love to see you open your own shop one day. Yeah. Like, it's almost like watching your like little kid grow up if they get someone to build their brand.
I think the thing that's particularly good with you are obviously the skill level for cutting. I think I come from, you know, I went to film school and stuff too. So I can vibe with you about that. Like, where you don't have to wait for certain years to get good at an art. You can just start fucking getting good if you obsess over it and get really fucking good. Other people want to fuck around doing other things for a while, but if you zone in and hone a craft, you don't need to wait years. You can start actually making big moves. But the other thing that I think to attribute to your success in your short time in this career is your marketing skills. I feel like you got to get some good. You have a good head for marketing,
and it's like. That's the cool part is like, I actually really enjoy that where I didn't going into barbering. That was the least of my mind, you know, but that's where I actually enjoy that creative output of like creating videos, syncing them up with sounds, editing the video. Like that's actually entertaining to me and I enjoy it.
What do you mean? Why is it entertaining?
It's like a creative entertainment. Like, it's like a creative outlet.
Does it feel like it's almost like an advanced version, just the drawing in a coloring book? It's like that satisfaction.
But
it's
I think big part of it is I've always been obsessed with like music and visual. And so like getting to match up a video and cut it with the beat of a song, it's almost like that's the creative part that I enjoy. Yeah,
you're an artisty person. Barbers, I feel like barbers
it's brought it out of me more. Yeah. Like barbering, really, like at first it was very a mathematical cutter, which is like what you say. It's like very broken up into sections. Where now I can see it and like I could even take someone else's haircut and kind of just look at it and make it the way. But that at the same time makes it harder to teach someone to do that because it's like I just see it and I do it. I don't know how to explain it.
Then you get to self-express because you've mastered the fundamentals. I feel like it's like a classical, you know. Little Mormon around here girl playing violin. That's I have to grow up Mormon, so I know a lot of Mormon girls that play violin. But they like take lessons, do sheet music, and then you get like Jimi Hendrix is behind me over here, who also start bending strings and wah-wahing the sound and doing things that aren't fundamental, but they're creative. But he can jam the fundamentals all he wants.
Yeah,
now
it's like you learn all the fundamentals. So you're like, now let me tune this differently and see if I can create something of my own.
Let's get creative. Yeah. Let's get creative.
But that's where it's like I started drawing a lot more, and I felt like I got better at drawing after. Like I understood shading when I was coloring more because of hair. Like fading a hair is a lot like, oh, okay, now I understand to fade it out. Me and my girlfriend actually just went to like
pixels.
Me and my girlfriend just went to like a painting class the other day and understanding how to fade the paint. That's where I tell a lot of people with cutting hair is getting to know your tools. Just like I learned like getting to know your paintbrush and how it works. Like that's a big part of being good at your art is understanding the tool. And that's like painting the other day. That was like my first time ever doing something like that. And I will probably start doing it more often because
I think it's kind of like the RAM in a computer. You know, if you have a program open, like if I'm editing a Premiere Pro, and I can only have like up to 14 gigabytes of RAM for that application. If I start using the internet on other things, it's taking up RAM space and it makes my editing software start running slower. And so maybe it's the RAM space of our brains on the skills. Like once you know your machine, you could free up RAM space on thinking about how to use that machine, about what you're doing, and all your RAM space goes straight to the creativity.
And that's where I think, like I said, I've turned in more to an artistic cutter than I have a mathematical. And that's, I think, honestly, like you're saying, it's like I don't have to focus so much on about what I'm doing. I can just see it and use my paintbrush to make it the way I want it.
Now you get to have fun instead of just follow the notes.
Pretty much.
Go off. So, hey, you were learning piano, weren't you?
Yeah,
Are you?
I've been in and out of it. I'll go through phases where I'm like, oh, I kind of want to learn a song. So that's, I want to say I'm learning piano. I'm saying I'll learn a song.
You touch it sometimes, mess around.
I'll look at YouTube and it's almost like playing Guitar Hero.
It is,
keyboard.
right?
Yeah.
You just put like a synth one or something and follow it.
I've only done that on like one song, but that's where I can like read tablature.
Oh, really? For piano?
Like, I mean, similar, like I both.
Yeah, the guitar tabs, I prefer watching a video for guitar. I'm a visual learner like that. The tabs, they're really black and white and easy, but to songs, I feel like there's sometimes a flair you have to hear, and then you can, apply the way it sounds on it.
I've decided that I'm giving up on my guitar dreams. I think my hands, I got small hands, bro.
I got worried the other day. I was punching the punching bag and I started getting too amped up. I tell myself this all the time. Today I'm just going to go nice warm up strikes, perfect punches. And I start out my rounds like that. And I won't wrap my hands up. I'll just put them in the gloves because I know I'm going to be controlled. But then the music starts getting me. I'm warm after 4 rounds and I'm feeling good. And I'm like, bam, bam, hitting hard. And then, I'm on the last rounds. I'm like, well, at least finish hard. Bam, bam, bam. And I punched and my pinky felt weird. Oof. And I punched again. And I was like, oh, that felt really, really weird. I better not do this anymore. So I actually kept doing it, but just only right hands only, my left pinky. But yeah, I screwed my pinky up like in here somewhere. Ooh. So I got to heal that.
Because the taping just kind of gives you like extra support.
Yeah, it just puts a lot of bracing on because these bones are so small. They're like the tiniest bones we have, and we're using them as the weapons. That's why elbows work so much better.
Bro, I think getting hit by like a mean elbow just looks like the worst.
looks like getting hit by a bat. Just well, that's more like a kick, like a leg kick.
A sharp elbow. Like I got pointy elbows. Like that's
You see this? You see how it's all beat up on the side? That's from spinning back elbows on the back. I went until my elbow the skin started tearing. I'm like, oh crap, I better ease up. I think I'm doing it. I'm trying to land on this peak better rather than this slab better. Because if you think about it, if you had like a bat, what would hurt more? If I just jabbed you with the bat like that, or if I put a big old steak right there and then hit you with the steak?
God.
I think the jab.
You think the jab would hurt?
This is like just straight hard. It's hard as hell.
I mean, I don't think either of them are going to feel good.
This? That might be kind of soft. It's just going to be like
more like a kick. I mean, just depends on how fast that's coming.
The kick, you got a shin bone though.
Yeah.
That's like a legit bat.
Bro, see, that's like the thing. Like getting your shins into that shape, that sounds awful.
Oh yeah, I've been trying actually. Every day I go to the park with Bosco and I go walk up to a tree and I just sit there and I kick it until my leg hurts on one side. Then I switch and I kick it until my leg hurts on the other side.
Just killing all the nerve endings in your shin.
And sometimes if I'm just holding a broomstick or some stick, I just tap on my shins. Just sit there and tap on them, hit them until hopefully the nerves die.
That just like connected a dot for. So I just watched The Accountant for the first time.
What?
Have you seen The Accountant?
What is that?
It's basically this John Wick type dude.
What?
He's an accountant. It's actually a super good movie.
Okay.
But he was and he has some form of autism and stuff. But there was parts where he's rubbing the hell out of his shins with like a piece of wood and beating them. And that just made that connection. I was like, he is kind of a badass like that. I wonder if it's for his kicks.
Yeah, that's totally what they do.
I had no idea what he was doing.
That's a Muay Thai thing in Thailand. So they get pieces of wood or broomsticks usually.
But that movie, you would like that movie.
Yeah, is that new?
It came out in 2016. It's on Netflix right now.
What the heck? Oh, I'll have to check it out.
It's the number one movie on Netflix right now.
Does it involve a dog as well?
No dog in this one.
I don't know. But
just
everything
severe
makes
autism and...
But just like a John Wick autistic person?
Yes.
That sounds scary.
And he's an accountant with like a hitman, basically.
Hopefully he's good.
Oh, he is really... That's
like a good person.
Oh, yeah. He's killing bad people. Just like...
Oh, okay. All right. We can stand behind it. What the hell is he? Oh, are you petting him?
No, I'm not.
He's so happy. What the hell? Bosco, get over here, dude. Get over here. What are you doing? He's just standing under the table. He likes to be under things. Do your dogs like to do that?
Yes, my lab is constantly under my kitchen table.
What the hell?
And like recently, I don't know if he got hurt while I was gone or something, but he is like terrified of the hardwood floor right now. So he's being super hesitant to come out of my room where it's carpet or outside. And I'm wondering if he just slipped and ate shit one day. And I was like, PTSD. Yeah. I'm like, because I can tell he's not hurt because in my room and outside he's just fine. But
he's like, he refuses to be embarrassed like that again by the floor. So I'm not coming out till you guys buy some rugs.
No, that's...
Yeah. Bosco gets these like sores on his elbows because he's a big dog and lays on hardwood floor a lot. So I've been trying to keep him on padded as much as possible, but he likes to go under the tables where it's hard and just lay under there. I think they like the cold of the ground.
That's what I'm thinking. But I also like to lay in front of my sliding glass door in the sun too. So I'm like,
oh really? Oh, that sounds nice. Yeah, we don't have that option for Bosco here. I don't think. That's like cat behavior though.
I mean, he is a big old pussy.
Literally.
Oh, the cuddliest, babyest dog I've ever met in my life, and he's 100 pounds. As big as Bosco, but like a lab.
Yeah, that's nice. You don't have to worry about any aggression shit.
Yeah.
Bosco, come here.
I feel like there's been some dogs that don't like my pit bull.
Oh yeah.
It's I don't know, they're just being racist towards my pit bull.
Come here.
But there was my neighbor has a big German Shepherd, and she ran over all excited to say hi, and then he got all protective mode, and she was
who did? The German Shepherd got in protective mode?
Yeah.
Oh, like
of
scared?
his neighbor. No, of like protecting his owner.
Oh, really?
Like being like a good dog. Like he was on his property and everything. So, but then she was like instantly tuck her tail. Like, oh no.
She got scared?
Oh yeah.
Oh, wow.
But there's been other dogs that just randomly seem to have a problem with her. I'm like, are you just like talking shit somehow that I don't know? Like,
Yeah, weird. Huh.
but
Yeah,
I've never
she
seen
got
her
a thick
actually
head.
be an aggressor. Yeah, I mean, she's a stout pit bull.
A square head. Mm-hmm. It's like that testosterone
She's strong as
head.
shit. But that's where I'm like, I don't know if she's just talking shit or just intimidating so the other dogs want to start.
Dogs are weird. I feel like they definitely do that like social hierarchy shit. They play that out whenever they run into new dogs.
Alpha.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. Like my pit's definitely the alpha, even though she's smaller than my lab.
What?
Like my pit is smaller than my lab.
Oh, that makes sense though.
Yeah, but that's
Pits
where-
just seem alpha as fuck.
Oh, but that's like, I remember when I first, like, it was like the first 6 months of having her. My lab, she would finish eating her food, and my lab would literally grab food with his mouth and put it next to his bowl to give her some. I was like, just paying your like rent.
How old is your yellow lab?
God, excuse me, asthma.
What the fuck? You got any good impressions? Can you do impressions?
I mean, I don't. Off the top of my head, I'm trying to think. I feel like I make weird voices and stuff all the time.
Let me give my best Jackie Chan impression. I've been working on this one. How come you kids no come? I teach you kung fu. It's horrible. Disrespect to Jackie Chan like that.
How old is Jackie Chan
He's
now?
old as shit. Oh, he's gonna die soon. That's sad.
That's like how you know you're getting older is like. So I was looking at like the NBA the other day.
Yeah.
I'm like, LeBron James, like I grew up with him and he's literally the oldest player in the league right now.
You're a big basketball guy, right?
I just went to a game last week.
Oh yeah, you were at the Utah Jazz.
Yeah, Jazz versus Mavericks.
How's this thing treating you? Is this fucking just? It's like weird, right? It's the.
I mean, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I just feel like it just moves always where I don't want it. I need
It's right in the face.
some fancy ones. But Utah Jazz, that's where you're at in Salt Lake.
I was in Salt Lake, yeah.
Nice. Okay, help me. I don't know basketball that well, but I know this. There's a controversy between
Who's
who is
the
the
GOAT?
greatest. Yep, and is it
It's
Michael
LeBron.
Jordan? Oh,
It's LeBron.
It's LeBron.
I mean, to be at the top as long as he is, the older I get, the more I respect him too, because he's 39 and like I go play like I have a basketball game tonight. I'm going to be feeling it 3 days later, playing not nearly as high of a level as him. Like his body recovery and
So why is that? Why does all this have to? What does this have to do with him being the GOAT?
to be at the top of the league that long,
Oh, okay.
you know, like just the longevity of his,
Okay.
of
So
his
just because he's
career.
been doing it for a long time and be getting
No one
old,
else has done-
he
like-
makes him better than
Like Udonis Haslem was the oldest player in the league last year. He maybe played 2 minutes all year.
didn't.
LeBron's still playing at like a all-star level as the oldest player in the league this year.
You don't think what makes you at the top? Are you considering stats of like points made,
Stats like, so you could say like the only thing I'd really give Jordan is,
winning three in a row twice?
I mean, that's teams win championships. And if
Yeah.
you look at the teams that Jordan was on, he was always the favorite. LeBron has been like the underdog almost every finals, like expected to lose.
Yeah,
Team
he had
wise,
more
you know what I mean?
adversity because
like
Michael
Jordan-
Jordan had a dream team. Everyone
Yeah, Jordan
argues
had
he
the dream team that was supposed to win. You know what I mean?
But if I put it into this perspective, what if we take the best teams, which there's some other team out there that's
Golden State has the best
Golden
record of all
State, yeah.
time. That was 2016. They went 73-9.
yeah, Golden State team
And
is
LeBron
argued against.
and LeBron beat them. Came back from a 3-1 deficit to beat them in the finals that year when they went 73-9.
Oh wow.
And he was the first player to ever lead every category, like statistical category. That's a hard word to say. Like, so points, steals, blocks, rebounds, assists. Like he was number one in every category on both teams that finals.
Because you could argue, I understand you keep going to this adversity aspect and how well he's overcome and dominated with that adversity, being faced with that adversity. But you could argue those stats could be irrelevant to the greatest of all time argument because the earlier person should get more credit because in all sports, the earlier people, you always advance. The future gets better. They always get better.
And I feel like that only benefits LeBron because LeBron's doing it against tougher overall competition. And where it's like, there was people, you know, back just as early as like the 60s, 70s that didn't even dribble the ball with both hands.
But like, Michael Jordan it became like the first, like one of the first superstars.
Oh yeah. Like
so it's like, McGregor.
Jordan is definitely the reason the NBA is the NBA. Yeah. Like he blew up, like superstar.
Everyone knows who Michael Jordan is.
Especially before social media era. But that's also something I credit LeBron to, is like, I can't imagine like Jordan punched a teammate in the face. Like if that would have went viral on Twitter, like all the outside noise that you have to deal with in today's media, you know, like the access of your phone, where back then it was like the newspaper, he got pissed about one newspaper title, you know?
And what's the name of that guy? Tim Grover, or the trainer of Michael Jordan and LeBron?
Their trainer?
Yeah, the guy who trained, who's like their workout trainer.
Oh, I'm not sure.
I think it's Tim Grover. Pretty sure. Let me double check this real quick. Tim Grover on Google.
But that's where I'm like, even LeBron as a player, just separating everything. Like you could say Jordan's a better scorer.
Yeah, he did. He trained.
But I would say LeBron's a better 3-point shooter.
But Tim Grover, the guy who trained with both, he trained Michael Jordan and trained LeBron in their physical fitness and stuff. And he had written many. He also did Dwayne Wade, but he was interviewed and they said, if you know, LeBron, he has the stats and stuff, but if you wanted to win a game and it was clutch time, you'd give it to Jordan because he would always clutch.
But you say that, but then if you actually look at the stats of clutch time, LeBron's one of the best, is like the greatest of all time there too. Like attempts, he has more attempts, and I think the percentage is like within a shot of each other. So I'm saying people just say, oh, because that used to be a big controversy, is LeBron's a pass first player. Okay. So like, oh, he passed up the game winning shot. But that's where I say Jordan will always take the clutch shot. LeBron will always make the clutch play.
Oh, okay. Better team player.
Yeah. Like he's
overall better in all aspects.
That's why I say, like, you could say Jordan's a better scorer, better on ball defender. Other than that, LeBron's the better passer, better rebounder, stayed at his peak longer. I mean, think about like the Jordan on the Wizards is what LeBron should be right now, but LeBron's still playing at all-star level.
I'm sure that I've heard before that there were like NBA people before Jordan that were really big and did better stats too.
Chamberlain, I mean, dropped 100 points in a game. Like, that's
so you know
insane.
These people.
Oh yeah.
I don't, and I don't doubt many people do, unless you're a basketball
Chamberlain,
freak.
Oscar Robertson.
So how much does legacy of your name being written in history matter when you measure up against the GOAT? Who is the GOAT, greatest of all time? Is it who's remembered in the end?
I mean, ultimately, and that's where like another thing I see is like influence. Like I'll say Jordan had more influence on the game of basketball than LeBron. Like as far as the way people play and stuff like that, just like, but I would say even like Allen Iverson and Steph Curry have had even more of an influence of how people play the game. Like Steph Curry, like everyone's shooting threes now. And I credit that to Steph Curry. So you can influence the game and still not be considered the greatest. You know?
What do you think are what to you are the stats that make up who is the greatest?
Just being an all-around player. Where Jordan was known for like his on-the-ball defense and scoring. He wasn't known for rebounding. He wasn't known for assists. Where LeBron is considered a pass-first player and always has been. Yet he still has the most points of all time. And not only because, like, you could say his longevity is the reason he has the points, but he also reached the milestones of 10,000, 20,000, 30,000, 40,000, all faster than anyone else too. So, and there's been players like Kevin Durant, Steph Curry, all these players that are score-first players that still aren't scoring as much as this pass-first player. So that, to me, like, says, like, if he were to be trying to score like you guys, like, he's just more efficient with scoring. And then best passer out of all of them. Rebounding. I mean, that's size too. I mean, he's 6'9". That's what I hate when people are like, oh, LeBron couldn't handle the 80s or whatever. I'm like, man, 6'9", like 250 coming at you with like a 4'6", 40, you know? Like, I'm getting out, like, no one's getting in the way of him. I was like, they had to fail back then because they're so unathletic compared to today's game. Like, that was the option.
It's total. Michael Jordan's really lasting impression of his brand, who he is. His shoes, him jumping, the tongue, the Space Jam, all that set him up for like love, worldwide population love. Yeah. So he gets to hold this spot where people don't want to let him go because he's so memorable.
And nostalgia plays a huge part in it.
Yeah.
just like, oh, you didn't get to see Jordan play. I was like, yeah, but I'll watch highlights and seeing the defense and the things back then. I'm like, I see your guys' like Sports Center top 10 back then. That's almost everything that happened in that top 10 is in one game now.
Although, what if we say this? Mike Tyson would get beat by Tyson Fury these days. Tyson Fury, really tall guy, or and Anthony Joshua. People, do you even know Anthony Joshua?
Yes, I know Anthony.
Okay. Oh yeah, you've been watching a lot more combat sports lately.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah. You've been into boxing or what? What you getting into?
Boxing, and like I just watched the UFC 299. That was like one of the first ones I watched. I
didn't watch it.
299.
Yeah, who fought? I don't remember.
Was
Rose Namajunas?
No, Dustin Poirier fought. What's that dude's name? He was losing too. He was like a.
Who was it? I think I did watch this. How did I forget?
Something. I can't remember his name. He wasn't a very I didn't know his name. He was an upcoming person. And then Sean O'Malley fought.
Yeah, Sean O'Malley fight. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, Vera for the second one. Yeah.
Yeah, Vera to stay in that fight after taking that knee to the head. Did you see that?
That he stayed in the fight after taking the knee?
Did you see that knee to the head that he took?
Oh, dude, I barely remember this fight for some reason.
The loudest hit I've ever heard in combat sports.
Would you watch it at home?
At home.
Yeah. Oh, nice. I watched it at home too. I was pretty faded by the time that thing, by the main event got on, but
yeah, no.
It felt kind of slow. I don't think there was like a lot of knockouts. There was a girl knockout, wasn't there? I don't remember. Anyways, I wasn't that excited about 299.
Dustin Poirier finished his guy.
Yeah, Dustin Poirier is the shit. He's so skinny now. He looks, his jawline is just so sharp. Yeah, I watched him get knocked out by Gaethje over there.
That's what I was saying. Was that live or
I didn't watch that. I got that from Buffalo. But yeah, like you're saying, I'll watch Michael Jordan highlights. It's like everyone else is probably watching on their TV too. So but the thing is, Mike Tyson in his era, there's such a thing as like, no one came around like him before, and you're like, damn, this is a showstopper. This is crazy. He's bringing so much hype to boxing. This is so exciting. And then you go, well, but Tyson Fury would beat his ass. But then everyone's gonna be like, yeah, shut up. No, yeah, right. Tyson's different. But and that's like a Michael Jordan thing.
I think that, and like the nostalgia, like, no, I remember watching everyone, like they almost become like superhuman to you.
Yeah, exactly.
So you remember them almost better than, you don't remember all the shots they missed. Even though
they were superhuman though.
Yeah.
Even Jordan and Mike Tyson, they're like the most super of us. They're the most amazing out of us.
Back then, the three Mikes. If your name was Michael Jackson, Mike Tyson, Michael Jordan.
Yeah. There's definitely a good time to be a Mike.
Be like Mike.
Be like Mike. Yeah. Did you watch that movie?
Oh yeah, I love like
That's
Mike.
One where it's like Lil Bow Wow, I think, and he puts on Michael's Jordan's shoes.
If you saw. That was like a little like Easter egg thing in one of my advertisements recently. It was the March Madness promotion that I was putting on.
I remember.
So since it was a basketball, I actually used a song that's famous and like Mike.
Oh, really?
As the background noise.
I forgot how that movie went though. I just remember he found him on a pole, I think, and knocked him down.
Yeah. So like it was like basically the story was like Jordan donated to this orphanage, and then he was given these Nike shoes at the orphanage, and then one of the bullies at the orphanage took his shoes and threw them up on the electric wire and what's that called?
Telephone pole wire. Yeah.
And then like went out and got him in a rainstorm, and electrical made him all magic. Yeah. Brought back Michael Jordan's powers to him.
Michael Jordan just was a fraud. He had the power of his shoes.
He had the power of his shoes.
Tesla. He found Tesla's old notes.
Mike's secret stuff and Space Jam,
Yeah, dude. Michael Jordan did baseball too. Mm-hmm. Didn't he do something else? Golf.
Oh yeah, he golfs regularly, gambles regularly.
Yeah, sounds kind of like someone I know. But, aren't you a golfer? You're a golfer.
I'm out of learner.
What?
I'm actively learning how to golf. I mean, I've played a lot of times, but I've never actually like taken a lesson. So I don't actually know what I'm doing wrong to get better.
Do you hit it far?
I can hit my driver far.
Okay. So you're good at golf.
No, that's the one thing. Like I've gotten so much respect for golf is because that's the one sport that no one's going to naturally be good at. Oh, yeah? You might be naturally good at one club, but you're not going to, if you could hit a far drive, does not mean you're going to be able to putt or chip. Like there's so many different aspects to it that it's like,
so technical.
Oh yeah.
Perfect technique.
Like I have become recently like obsessed with golf. I don't know if it's just because I'm almost 30 now.
It's that time.
But it's like I think it's also just growing social media wise. Like that Netflix series Full Swing is awesome.
I haven't seen it.
It's like living day to day with them during season.
It's a docuseries?
Yeah, docuseries on Netflix. It's super interesting.
You notice how popular sports docs have been getting?
Oh, I've always been big on sports documentaries. So I'm super excited to see like this series coming, which also fucking Jordan, he kind of started that with the Last Dance in the sense of it being this docu-series. That's where I'm like so stoked. Like I feel like he did that at such a perfect timing. That's like, he's like, all right, after LeBron came back from that 3-1 lead against the greatest team of all time. He's like, all right, release the documentary. I need my
get his rep back
I need
up.
to get my rep back up. But I'm like waiting for like LeBron's series is going to be crazy.
Oh yeah.
Like that's one also thing. Like, yeah, I feel like such a LeBron fanboy talking on here, but it's like another thing to say, like to have that much hype as an 18-year-old kid. Like he was the most sought after like high school recruit of all time.
Wow.
And going to a small school, like, you know,
I don't know anything about him.
He's from Akron, Ohio, and he went to St. Mary's, but that's like, so he was the number one overall pick coming out of high school. Yeah. So
isn't that where Dave Chappelle's at? They're both Ohio.
I don't know. Steph Curry's also from Akron, Ohio, which is crazy.
Ohio is just creating goats.
Yeah, pretty much.
Wow. Okay.
But that's where, like, to have that much hype around you and that much publicity as a kid, and then to actually surpass your hype while also having like almost a perfectly clear record, like never gotten in trouble, never had, like he's still with his high school sweetheart, like had never allegations of anything bad, like reputation. Yeah,
he's a good guy.
Like to uphold that in such a spotlight too.
Wow. Like
that's why I said if Jordan had to deal with social media, like imagine him like when he punched a teammate at practice, like Draymond just went crazy viral for that last year.
Where does LeBron attribute where he learned some like respect and all that? Do you know?
I mean, his mom, I think his mom, what he said, like he had a single mom that was his biggest. Savannah James. Well, I feel like I know too much. I know a lot about basketball, not just LeBron.
I wonder when they'll make his docuseries.
Oh,
it's got to be soon. Yeah, it's got to be soon.
That's where, like, the other one I'm super excited to see is the bubble, like during COVID year. So I don't know if you followed the NBA much then. So when they shut down the NBA for a little bit, they brought it back into a bubble, like straight up like a little city of their own in Orlando. Okay. Like, you know, like our city pool where they put the bubble over it. Yeah. Like straight up had like a little city just for the players. Like also all the teams that are still in contention are playing there. Okay. They did the playoffs there. So no fans, nothing. Like, so I'm super excited to see like the documentary of that. So like behind the scenes of all the other team, like players from other teams hanging out, like the behind the scenes footage of that. And that's like, and then the Lakers actually won the finals that year with LeBron and that's, so I'm super excited to see what that looked like. You know, all the teams just getting to hang out with each other outside, like after games and stuff.
Isn't that funny how much you crave that? Because
it's like, it's just intriguing to me.
Yeah.
It's like,
you see the real humans in them. You see who they are.
Yeah.
What were they doing in their interactions? I watched this, hey, how'd you like that espresso? You've been drinking it.
It's actually been really good.
Is it?
Yeah, let's get a slurp test.
Oh, because you... ASMR. But yeah, because you were skeptical about it, because I just make the espresso put a little bit of cream, but you're like you wanted a little shake style.
I was like, it's a little foam.
It's pretty
I've never actually used an espresso machine. I got a Keurig.
Yeah, it makes it so much smaller. There's not much to drink. You just
I was like, I'm gonna be nice and energized. And
you got a lot of coffee going.
I'm a busy guy.
Yeah, you got a basketball game later.
Yeah. Oh boy.
What do you play? Speaking of basketball,
I'm a point guard, and it's actually the first night of our playoffs.
Oh, really? Yeah. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, dude. You're John Jonesing it. You know, John Jones would get all fucked up and then show up to his fights. And if he lost, he'd be like, hey, I was fucked up.
I remember that's like when right after he got suspended for cocaine. When I can't remember, it was the DC, it was the first DC fight, I think, is then that came out after. See, that's so dumb to me. It's like they're saying he didn't win because he was on cocaine. I'm like, bro, he beat you on cocaine.
Yeah, that's what he says. I beat you on cocaine.
But that's where I'm like, the next fight he should have came out to that I'm in love with the coco. I remember like tweeting or writing something on Facebook about that.
Yeah, he's crazy. He's wild. I mean, getting pulled over and doing all these crazy shit.
Imagine being that family though, like where John Jones, like Chandler Jones, like he had two brothers years, that like same year, facing each other in the Super Bowl.
That's wild. Yeah, they are epic.
And to think that those two played in the Super Bowl aren't even the scariest ones in their family.
Yeah, seriously, John Jones will beat them all up.
Yeah,
John Jones. Wonder what life is like as him walking around this planet.
Yeah, like just knowing that.
What you gonna do?
No one's gonna touch me.
Yeah, I'll fuck anybody up. Every single human that comes near me.
Yeah, that's where I'm like, it doesn't even feel that. I wonder how many people try to come at him or try to agitate him because they think they're that level of like, oh, I could beat,
It's
or if
only
it's
stupid
more of
people.
like, yeah. But I mean, there are a lot of stupid people.
Yeah, there's only someone really stupid. Yeah, were you right before I switched to basketball? I was fucking gonna say something what the fuck? What were we talking about right before this? Right before I said you have a basketball game.
Boxing, maybe. When you're
Was
talking
it?
about like Mike Tyson and Mike Tyson Fury.
I lost it. Fucker. I suck. Fuck you, Alpha Brain. It's supposed to work. Yeah, do you feel a difference with that? You never had Alpha Brain
I've
before?
never had Alpha Brain.
It has good studies on it about, and one time I took a Spanish test and I took like 6 of these.
But I'm taking Alpha Brain with Red Bull, espresso, and water. So
yeah, you had a whole little concoction cocktail going on inside you.
Yeah, since I couldn't mix my espresso boosted like I wanted to, I had to go mix it with everything else.
Yeah, dude, are you ready for your game tonight or what? What the fuck? Do you get nervous or what?
No, I don't take this seriously.
Okay.
I mean, I take it like, that's what I love about it is like my team, it's like during the game, we'll be competitive and we'll try to win, but it's like, if we win, like, hey, you guys want to go get drinks after this? We lose. Hey, you guys want to go get drinks after this? Like,
it's the same. It's like
it's
hanging out friends,
and it's almost like the teams that do take it too serious, like run in plays and stuff, are like, really, this is a Southern Idaho rec basketball league.
Yeah, who you playing with? Anybody I know? Daniel?
No, I don't play on Daniel's team.
Oh,
that was actually our first one of the season when I was gone. They beat him by 1.
You crushed him.
That we beat him by 1, and like humbly, I usually am a leading scorer on my team, so that's where I was like, the fact we beat him, they must have not been great.
Who made the last shot?
I wasn't there, so
you weren't there.
That's what I'm saying. I wasn't there, and we beat him by 1.
Dang.
And we were like 1-5 at the time.
Damn, Daniel.
Yeah.
You gonna take that shit? That's it.
No, they try to recruit me before.
They're out there. Is this like businesses and stuff?
A lot of like the one I play for is like Lamb Weston's work team. So it started off when like one of my best friends worked there.
Oh yeah.
And then recruited me because they didn't have a lot of basketball players like there working. And so just kind of stuck with them ever since. Might retire or take a different team next year. I'm a free agent.
Send in your offers.
I've already gotten a couple.
Are you serious? What the fuck?
I mean, because it's like,
you're pretty good. Do we gotta go 1v1 out on the course somewhere?
I would beat you.
We'll see. I got height advantage.
You wouldn't be able to guard me though. It doesn't matter if I create space.
Get your shit out of here.
Yeah. Just wait. I dribble and I shoot.
I used to play basketball all the time with my friend over in 24-hour fitness, I think, when I was stationed in Southern California. Me and my buddy would go at nights and just jump in on games all the time.
I wish we had like a gym with a basketball hoop other than CSI. Like,
oh yeah.
I would have a membership there instead.
Mormon churches.
Yeah. Well, see, that's like, luckily that's where I'm in the basketball community. So I get invited to go like weekly. I get invited to go play basketball.
Oh yeah.
And that's where
We're at.
A lot of Mormon churches.
Yeah, they always throwing down, dude. Mormons love basketball for some reason. Like,
yep. But it's awesome at the same time. Like, I think it's a form of like getting them to.
It's communal.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's great for you. Because I know some old ass dudes that are still.
Like, I would be in a lot worse shape if I didn't snowboard and play basketball. Like, that's what's keeping me. Like,
keep it fun.
That's what I've always said. As long as I can play basketball and I can snowboard, I'm happy. One of the days I can't do one of those two things, you'll see me in the gym.
Dude, would you ever juice up?
Juice up? I don't think so.
Why not?
Because I don't.
That'd be sick.
I don't have the passion for it. I guess in the sense of like.
Oh, okay.
Like, I feel like if I was jacked, I would probably feel just the same mentally. Like,
but wouldn't it just be cool to be so jacked once?
And well, yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Like, but that's like, I've been in really good physical shape before, not just super strong, but like felt like I could run forever. Like in high school wrestling, like,
oh yeah,
just having that feeling of like,
fitness,
I could climb that mountain. You know what I mean? Yeah. And that's where I really had kind of a wake up call in Mexico, where there was this like 150-foot rope ladder.
Yeah.
And they said like only climb if you can finish it because you cannot come back down with the way the harnesses work. And so and there was a group of like 16 of us and only 2 of us climbed it.
Oh, really?
Me and one other person. I was like,
a guy or a girl?
And it was because it was a girl.
Nice.
And that's where I was like, man. And a lot of them did it not because they didn't want to. They physically didn't think they'd be able to make it. You know, I was like, man, I want to be in good enough shape that I can do that if I want to do it. Yeah. You know what I mean? Not feel like I physically can't.
I would love to be able to do what those like, what do they call it when you just do like pull-ups and push-ups and stuff? Calisthenics.
Those
calisthenic dudes who are like, and like break dancers who do crazy things and their bodies are so agile. And they're doing handstands and folding over. That seems cool.
That's one thing I actually do, like fitness wise. I want to get into yoga, like hot yoga.
Yeah. Have you done it before?
I've never done it.
Never done hot yoga. No. Nice.
And see, but like I cannot touch my toes right now. And that's right. I was like, I used to be a lot more like flexible, but I'm like, man, I'm kind of tight now.
Your hamstrings getting tight.
And I think it would be good for me, like with my job, you know, being on my feet and having my arms raised and stuff all the time. Like,
and yoga in general is just so old. It's like thousands of years old, from older than the Veda texts. So people have been doing that shit for a long time.
But I don't know if it's just like, again, me turning 30 soon, that I'm just like kind of more.
You're going to next thing you know.
I'm like thinking about my body more.
Oh, yeah. Next thing you know, you're going to be one of those like little Zumba classes with those belts on strapped to the ceiling. And you're like,
those look so fun now.
Shit looks so goofy
but
to
see,
me.
That's the other thing. Like I've noticed too, is like I used to dance a lot too. Like I really like to swing dance and line dance. And I haven't been as much like recently, like seasonal depression, I think.
Really?
Like during the winter, I'm cold and don't want to go nowhere. Yeah. But that's like, but that keeps you in such good shape too. And I mean, a lot like Zumba, just dancing and stuff. Yeah. If you can have fun while you're staying in shape, much, like I said, snowboarding, basketball. I just live more of an active lifestyle. And plus, like during the summer, I try to longboard like every night. Like I love that.
Oh, nice.
And so
that's a good butt workout.
I think the thing that's keeping me in shape is the fact that all the things I love to do require me to be physically active. So
yeah,
if I ever lose that, that's where I'm gonna be like, okay, I need to do
and you're
more.
Ectomorphic probably.
I don't know what that means.
Which means you like are a skinny body type where you have struggled to gain weight.
Oh yeah, I struggled so bad. Like I gained 30 pounds between like 2020 and 2022. And it was like so happy about it.
Oh my gosh. Like, that's not how the rest of us are.
Yeah, I was like gain 30 pounds and be so happy. Be like, I actually like the way I look with a little weight put on me, you know? Like it made me more confident.
Yeah, see, do steroids.
No, see, that's...
You already got a kid and shit. Like, come on. I'm waiting until I have a kid because it fucks with your infertility. So, or your infertility. And so I got to pop out my air. And then I'm going to get jacked as hell.
But see, like, I mean, it's probably where you've been filming these guys. It's definitely probably had an influence, and you kind of the inside on their life. I've been around
lots of people who do steroids,
and because that's where like people like when people give gym people a hard time that are like revolve their life around the gym. I'm like, do you realize how much discipline it takes to be able to do that?
Oh, it's a shitty sport to get into as well because you're self-inflicting suffering on yourself because. Yeah. You have to use your body as a sculpture and you have to sculpt out with just literally sweat in the gym and diet. You don't get to cheat on your diets. Work out exactly how you are. You juice up, so you can recover faster so you can go back and destroy yourself. So
is that really what, like, I guess I've never really looked too much into steroids. I know, like, does it push like your not motivation? What am I looking for?
Recovery.
It's just strictly recovery?
You recover like 10x factor.
See, that's what I like. And I think that's part of me wanting to do yoga is like, if I do squats, like you're
fucked for
days and like excruciating pain. Like I remember like in high school where I'd do leg day regularly, you know, I'd be sore, you know, but I could get through. But there was times I literally felt like I tore my hamstrings.
Oh my gosh.
That I was like to the point, like I don't feel like it's healthy for me to go work out that next day.
And then think how long it takes you to be able to feel good enough to work out again. So then you can destroy and recover it again. And now if you did steroids, you would recover so quick that you'd get like 10 of those in within one session of your regular workout. Not really those numbers, but you can go faster.
That's just the
journey changes.
But see, that's where I've always wondered if I'll just have a phase, like, cause I'm kind of the person that locks in on something, you know, and I go all out with it.
Yeah.
And so that's where I'm guessing I'll have a phase in my lifetime where I get super into fitness. Probably be something that triggers it, like I said.
That's once you're bored. At some point when you're bored.
Pretty much.
You get, maybe you will like if you tore like an injury snowboarding, then you're like, well, I guess I'll just lift now.
And see, that's where I've been so lucky that I haven't ever had any, like other than in high school, I've never had like an injury take me out, or I've never had like a serious knee injury, foot injury. I mean, so it's like,
well, but it's good to have, I think, at least one injury, because then you understand where an injury happens.
I mean, I was in a wheelchair my whole freshman year from surgeries. So in a sense I did.
Your adult life. Though.
Yeah. But my adult life, I haven't had to do, and that's where I was like, I imagine the recovery coming back from it this age, be a lot worse.
Yeah. I've torn things a lot throughout my 20s. I'm 30.
Are you 30 yet?
I'm already 30. I'm going to turn 31 this year.
Damn, you're old.
I know. And then next year, 32. And then I'm pretty much 40.
Yeah. I'm like, man.
It's going to be great, dude. I'm ready for us to be doing. Right now, we get a bullshit like this, but we can't be taken seriously. We're too young. We're stupid still.
We're not wise enough.
We're still stupid. Yeah, we're going to be fucking up things a lot more for probably another couple decades. But as we get older, we're going to be like, I'll have like a white Fu Manchu. And like,
I might have a little more peach fuzz.
You're going to have some futuristic badass hairstyle. It's like white. Pretty much. We're going to sit here and we'll be talking, but we'll actually probably have a better grasp on life and have pretty valuable stuff to talk about.
Mm-hmm. And I feel like, I mean, there's times where I feel like we're cutting your hair. We'll bullshit about the most random things like this, or we'll have the most like deep, thoughtful conversation.
We're either figuring out the fabric of reality or we're figuring out who's the GOAT of basketball.
Pretty much. And that's barbershop talk.
Yeah, dude, that's cool. Yeah, the amount of information going into your head from different people you talk to.
And that's something I've also added to the list of things. Like when I'm older, I'd want to write a book.
Yeah,
based off of life as a barber.
That's a cool concept.
Like the humans as I know it as a barber.
Oh my god, dude, you just inspired me right now.
How many different people I meet, you know?
Yeah.
Like I really feel like I've gotten a cool insight on so many different walks of life and like where people come from, people's life stories. Like that's probably my favorite part of my job is like where it keeps me humble in that aspect of like hearing so many people's different stories, and it inspires me too. Seeing like you're one of my clients that inspires me with like all the things that you do, and you call me out on it too. Like, oh, when are you going to do this? So I'm like, man, I'm so busy, but you're like, okay.
I know I got a little feisty there with you on that last one. I was like, what about that bridge though? But you still got a lot of plans in the works. You got keeping a list. You've had a lot going on with opening this barbershop.
Yeah. And I mean, that got sprung on me when I've talked about that place that I bought on a Thursday, went and looked at it on a Sunday, agreed to it that Sunday night. So it was fast.
Holy cow.
Like
once you made your decision though, you knew you were doing it.
Mm-hmm. I was like, and then once I made my decision, I'm like, I'm going all in on this. And see, that's where I don't view it as like, oh, I just add it. I prioritize my focus. See,
the thing that we were talking about a lot though, it was because I'm trying to motivate you to just start making shit now for podcast wise. Cause you're a great speaker and you speak for a living as you cut people's hair. I'm like, you just put a phone there and put a lav on yourselves. You can do it, but you are just like the barbershop, everything you want. Once you go in, you go all in. So you want to be in.
So it's like, I want to be able to focus and really plan it out. So it's not that I need it to be perfect, but I want to have a structure.
Yeah.
That's what I want is my structure.
I think you're like we're talking about how you're good at marketing. I feel like that also kind of revolves in your mind about the brand of what you're going to make.
Yeah. It's like, if I'm going to put something out there, just like a haircut, I'm not going to half-ass it because you're my walking billboard. I'm going to give you my best go. So it's like, I know the quality of what I have now. It's going to probably look like shit. My first one, you know, but like what I think I could do initially, I want to give my all on it. You know, it's not that it needs to be perfect, but I just want to give my best basically.
Yeah.
You know, I don't like to half-ass anything.
Yeah, I'd see. But for me, I think where my perspective comes in from the media making side is I just have had so many friends that like want to make YouTube channels or make something and they start. And I'm nowhere near I have like no brand. Literally, I've literally just been posting my shit. But at least I feel like for something that I'm proud of that I've done is always just keep making stuff. You know what I mean? I never stopped. I'll always keep making stuff. And then I realized people burn out. Even big YouTubers are successful, so they burn out and they don't want to make anymore. They're like, this is a job that I'm not enjoying it anymore. And so for me, doing stuff like this, where it's like not even a job, it's not even like work. I'm just throwing the AI after all this shit. Like, it's so easy, you know, that it's just, I can make media throughout my life without having to even put energy towards it. And that's why I like it.
Yeah. And I feel like also like your experience of it, you know, Like this is like all out to me, but to you, this is like, oh, I can do this in a few minutes.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you're right.
You know what I mean? It's that experience.
Yeah, the difference because I have all this shit.
Yeah, like, like you got the mics, the two.
But for me, I
dual
look at
cameras,
I realize though these look like you need it, but I could do it with we could just do it with a phone, and just talking. I have my earliest podcast I would do with the little recorder mic, and I would just put it in the middle while my friends and I were just drinking and fucking around, and I would just turn it on and we just talk around a recorder. So I just like capturing. You know what it is for me? I love to just capture genuine interactions. Yeah. That's what I revolve around, and that's why this has been so fun for me.
And that's like I was saying, like with my job, like getting genuine, authentic conversation with people, and I feel like I've really created that atmosphere, and that's what really intrigues people about me. I mean, I don't know if it's just the haircut, but to me, it's like I feel like I've gained a lot of connections with my clients. Like, I mean, obviously that's how I met you.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It was like, but I was listening to this guy speak about authenticity. It was talking about energies and how when, someone matches the energy, it automatically doubles, like Sir Isaac Newton's law or something,
Oh, yeah.
And, but that's what he was talking about. So you can actually gain energy off conversation.
But that's a weird one because energy is immeasurable. What's energy?
But that's where they said they were able to even put it in this room like that, like that it allowed no type of, like it didn't allow like 5G or anything to kind of get into this room. They were able to track people's moods strictly off the energy being put off. Like,
do you know what the
I can pull it up actually.
Yeah. What tracks a mood?
Like, it's like they can tell almost what kind of mood you're in based off of,
like a heat map or something, and they're like, oh, heat.
I'm gonna let this guy explain it better.
All right, let's put it on.
But talks about how authenticity is one, like, gives off the most.
How many of you actually believe in the universal law of attraction? Okay, so I didn't for 22 years because I'm a scientist. My background is in clinical research and mortality, so I didn't believe in that law until one day I was studying a law in physics. You're welcome to look this up. It's called constructive interference. It's a law in physics that is as valid as the law of gravity. What constructive interference says is that if two frequencies of equal wavelength meet, the size of the frequency doubles. That's a fact. Which means that you can get energy from conversation. You can get energy from other people. They can also take energy from you. Destructive interference says that if two frequencies of opposite wavelength meet, the size of the wave cancels, right? We say things like women are more intuitive. You ever heard that? Women are more intuitive? That's not true. Women are more sensitive to frequency, right? They actually can sense the frequency more aptly than a man. They actually have more brain cells than men. I hate to admit that, but they do. They have more brain cells than the gray matter. That was a clinical study I've been trying to refute for 7 years. Somebody's going to disprove it one day. So when we understand that frequency is emitted from a human being's body, and that frequency has a lot to do with what we attract and what we repel in the universe. As I was reading about this clinical, this valid law, constructive interference, I stumbled on a clinical study called the Spain Scale of Emotion. SPANE. It stands for the scale of positive and negative energy. They took 25,000 participants in Germany and they put them inside of something called a Faraday's cage. You know what a Faraday's cage is? It's an area that is devoid of all frequency. There's no microwave, no radio wave. There's no frequency of any kind in there. No EMF, no 5G, nothing. And they measured the frequency that was leaving a human being's body. And they were able to isolate frequency leaving human beings' bodies with such accuracy that they could tell exactly what mood that person was in. Not just that they were angry, but they were in despair, they were jealous, or they were vengeful. They could actually isolate frequencies to that degree. Do you know what the most powerful frequency to leave a human being's body is? Does anybody want to know what the most
I can't leave that answer out.
Frequency and the most powerful frequency to leave a human being's body? Anyone want to take a guess? Sex. Sex is not a frequency, that's an act. But we like where your head's at. Okay? Confidence, close. Love is close. This is actually 4 times more powerful than love. Close. Joy. Authenticity. Who said that? Right there. Have you seen me speak before? Okay.
Authenticity, huh? See, I am a person that totally believes that there's strings, like string theory wise, that connect us all. There's energy that we can't read, and that's why it's easy to plaster as like just voodoo, spiritual mumbo jumbo.
That gut feeling.
Yeah. What I would hoped he would say more though, and he says, and they measured the frequency coming off. I wish he would had explained like what frequency, like we measured with a radar detector, or what?
He said negative and positive energy. Like,
yeah, what is that?
Like, I think it's. I
mean,
the
electromagnetic energy coming off of you, and based off the electromagnetic, because electromagnetic spectrum's kind of interesting, from infrared to gamma rays that can actually give us cancer because it bends our DNA to, like, you know, the low light frequencies to the white light we see. Our phones, everything radiates in the electromagnetic field. So I wonder if that's what they're measuring, and how he's saying that's the EMF off of people that they could measure. That's interesting too, because you would have to be able to record them. And if you could record them, how are you getting rid of all the frequencies in a room with devices in the room?
Yeah. That's what he called it, the Spain scale. Is what
I'm going to have to look into the Spain
but that's
scale.
where he ends on. He's like saying authenticity gives off the most frequency off a human body. Like, so it's like where that whole quote of like, be so much of yourself that you allow others to be themselves. Like, and I feel like that's a very true statement. Like, the more comfortable you can make someone feeling accepted and not judged and just being authentic,
what is authentic? If you're going to measure it and say, oh, we can tell they're jealous, we can tell they're angry, and now we can tell they're authentic. Does that mean calm? Is the frequencies probably low?
He's saying that gives off the most frequency.
Oh, it's the strongest.
It's like energy. Yeah. So it's like, that's where, like, so if too authentic, like people are just being authentic with each other, how you can just tell they're like, you almost sense it, like, say, like they radiate that energy of like them just having, it's almost the most positive energy you can think of, you know, just completely unapologetically being yourself in a sense. Yeah. And so like when you say like be yourself, that be so much of yourself,
some sort of energy, because they're just
allowing others
loose.
to be, you know, like, and I feel like that's where, like, I guess I'm very focused on being authentic with my clients and stuff, that, so it's like gives them the safe space to feel like they can be themselves, talk about what they want to talk about. And I see how real that statement was to me.
What is authentic to you though?
I mean, just strictly just being yourself, not censoring who you are as a person.
So if someone comes to you and you want to be authentic, how do you be?
It's like separating ego and insecurity and just being like, you. You know what I mean? Like in the sense of like,
what's the difference between you and your ego?
Ego is, I feel like you're trying to almost convince yourself. It's
false. It's like a mask.
And it's not necessarily false, but it's like, it's an opinion almost. Your ego is almost your own opinion versus like, that's a tough question. like I don't view like, I don't know. 'Cause ego is not always authentic, I would say. Sometimes ego comes from insecurity.
But can ego be authentic? It's like a square and a rectangle question.
Yeah, kind of. Like, I don't know. Like, where I view it as like separating, like, it's almost like completely open-mindedness while also not being afraid to have your own, I guess, like, it's like a feeling of not being judged. I don't know how to describe it.
One thing I think that this reminds me of is Malcolm X, and there's a moment where he gives a speech because he had been doing rallies going, white people are the devil, white people are the devil, and everyone's like, yeah, white people are the devil, fuck white people, they're horrible, because their experiences with white people have been bad. But as Malcolm X progressed in his career, he had experiences with white people, and he corrected on an interview once and said, okay, white people might not be the devil, but too many of them have devilish behavior. And so that's like kind of, I view as like authentic moment where it's like you're willing to be open-minded, like you say. And that's the thing that everyone attributed to Malcolm X was the reason people followed him was because of his sincerity. Maybe he wasn't always right in his thoughts, but he was always sincere.
That's where I think authenticity is sincere emotion. So it's like, that's where I said it's not necessarily ego, but like truly believing what you're saying and truly believing and being who you are, being sincere with who you are and being sincere with your thoughts and being sincere with your opinions. Like where I feel like ego can be almost a competitive nature in your own.
But at what point do you think, because sincerity and authenticity sound like purely positive things to me. It seems like I imagine that in a positive direction.
Yes.
But I can imagine people who are, bet you there were some sincere Nazis.
But also not like, I don't always view it as, because it's like being authentic can also be in the sense being vulnerable. So I'm really showing you like when I'm truly upset or truly like lovey, you know what I mean?
I feel like there has to be the word tolerance has to be in there somewhere.
Tolerance?
For it. Because you have to be tolerant as well of the other person's ideas.
Yeah.
To earn authenticity.
But I guess with authenticity in the sense of like, I just completely blanked what I was saying before.
Well, I said that Nazis were probably sincere. So are they authentic and sincere people if they truly
in a
are?
Sense, and that's why they could still, with someone else with their similar, experience and think other Nazis, they can feel that energy of authenticity with each other.
So there could be bad authenticity.
I mean, it's bad to us, which they think is good. So that's just perception.
Oh, okay.
So that's perception that's again, ego in the sense of my opinion's right versus yours instead of like.
All right. So do you think good and bad is all just a relative perspective thing?
Yeah.
Really?
Like I feel like that's how I define evil. Is it evil if you believe that you're doing good? Like because we have different opinions of what is evil.
So Jeffrey Dahmer, he didn't think it was bad to eat all those people.
Yeah. I'm not saying what he did is correct or justifiable, in a sense, but I'm saying
from his perspective,
I guess intent is what was your intent?
Okay.
Was your intent evil or is your intent just messed up?
How do you decide if an intention is evil though?
I mean, that's all relative to opinion. You know what I mean?
So then intent doesn't really matter. That's it's all still relative.
Because you could say Hitler didn't think he was doing anything bad, but I can disagree. You know what I mean? Like he thought, I guess I wouldn't say I view it basically all off intent, Like I have an opinion of what I think is good and bad.
Yeah.
But intent of when your action, like the fact of like you hit someone else in the face with the ball was your intent. Because the result of the outcome is the same. But the intent is, did I throw it intentionally to hit you in the face? Or did I just accidentally hit you in the face? Because then determine, am I an evil person because I accidentally hit you with the face? Or if I did it on purpose?
But if they did do it on purpose, but they thought it was for a good reason because you would get tougher.
That's where I feel like the relative opinion comes in. Like, do I think that's the correct way to toughen someone up?
Yeah.
That's where you can have that opinion there. But I'm saying the intent based off of I hit you with a ball on accident and hit you on purpose. One tells me I was going for that outcome of hurting you. One, I was not intending to hurt you. So was my intention evil?
Let me paint you a scenario. This will be a fun one. Give me your idea of where on the spectrum of good and evil this lies. Me and you are sitting here. All of a sudden, we're in my house, we're comfortable, think we're safe, not bothering anybody, just being ourselves. All of a sudden, the neighbors across the street start shooting into this window. We drop on the floor, bah, 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 shooting hundreds of rounds at our window. And I'm like, fuck this. This has got to end. And I sneak out the back door. I go back there, bust in their house. I kill every single one of them. But not just the men, the women, and the children too. That's a Star Wars reference. If anybody. So I go in there, I shoot a baby in the crib. I kill everyone. I come back. I say, I dealt with the problem. Where do you think I lie on that spectrum?
Evil in the sense of if you're killing the people shooting at you, you're defending yourself.
Okay.
If you're shooting someone defenseless, now your intent was just to cause further harm out of anger. Like, I'm going to kill this baby now too.
Okay.
Because your intent was to cause emotional distraught.
What if I just throw a grenade in there to stop the guy, but I killed a bunch of babies too?
then, because was your intent to kill the babies, or was your intent to kill the people that were trying to kill you?
I wanted to kill the bad guys. I knew there were babies in there, but the bad guys need to be stopped. And right now is my chance.
Then that was ignorance, not necessarily evil. Because if you didn't mean to kill the babies, but you did.
But you knew it was going to happen, so it's not quite ignorant.
Well, then, I mean, that was, then it's evil in the aspect of
It's
like.
the collateral you're willing to pay.
Yes. Because if you're willing to sacrifice innocence for it and you're aware of that. See, that's the awareness in a sense. Is because then you're choosing that evil versus it being the result of the outcome of like, I threw this ball and I hit them in the face. I didn't mean to hit them in the face, but they're still hurt. I threw the ball and tried to hit them in the face and they're hurt. Now I was trying to inflict pain.
Okay. So for my story, we're getting shot at. I snuck over there. I peek into the thing. I see there's a bunch of men in there. I'm not gonna be able to stop them. I only have a few rounds. I go, I'm going to throw a grenade in there, but I also see there's kids. I know it. And I say, this is the price I have to pay. Do it. What do you think about my decision?
I mean, I guess there's just more questions to it. Is like, if you're able to sneak over there, why didn't you just leave?
Do you think it's my home? Why would I leave my home?
Because you're getting shot at?
Or I could shoot.
I'm saying that's what I'm saying. If your intent is to just stop the, them trying to kill you, but it's like, if there was another option, if that was your only way out, it's like you die or throw the grenade, that's like you said, like your intent is like, I don't want this to happen.
Do you think I should explore other options?
Yes. But I'm saying, it just comes down to your intent.
Yeah. Do you know what scenario I'm painting out?
No.
Israel-Palestine.
Oh,
it's kind of the Israel-Palestine vibe there. Someone's there for their home. People shooting at them. They don't feel safe. So you drop a missile where they're headquartered, kill a bunch of children while you're at it. But it's the price to pay to take out terrorists.
What was the Avatar? Have you watched the
latest Avatar?
Like the real life version? What would you call that?
James Cameron's Avatar? The guy who made Titanic?
Like the Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Avatar: The Last Airbender.
The new live series, live action. That's the word I'm looking for.
The new Netflix live action.
I just watched the episode where they have the freedom fighters or whatever.
Jet.
Yeah, Jet. So he's kind of that line where he's like on that bomb, like, oh, it's going to kill innocent people, and he says, well, that's the price you have to pay for freedom. Mm-hmm. But in that, he's also painted as the bad guy. So even though he's, in a sense, in his intent, he thinks he's doing something good. Mm-hmm. Where someone else's opinion, they think. But that's where I still view it as evil because he knows the result of the outcome will be hurting innocent people. And so that's for me. If my choice has to involve hurting innocent people, it ain't me.
I agree with you completely, but I also acknowledge that we're living in a very great time. And there's this quote from the Glug Archipelago I never let go of that says, morality is a luxury for the civilized, I think. Fuck, I did forget. But it was pretty much, I think about that plane that crashed in Argentina where they ate all the people on the plane because they were, you know what I'm talking about? Yeah. That one. It's just like people were eating each other in the gulags. People would eat their kids because they didn't want to see their kids starve, but they're starving too. And it's like, you look in nature, they'll say, bye kid, I got to go. We're going to get eaten by a lion. That morality, things that we have to worry about is a luxury because we're not dealing with survival.
And that's a good way to view it too, is like with animals and intent and evil is the mountain lion evil for eating this bunny? It's like, no, because its intent is to survive. Its intent, like, because that's where it's kind of that fine line. It's like, at what cost though? At something dying,
Yeah. And if we were in like village tribe mode and there's a tribe that wants to kill us, we'd probably kill all of them we wouldn't be that bothered over it.
Do I view that as evil or do I view that as its nature?
Yeah. Yeah. That's the thing. So that's kind of where we've been boiling everything down to. Where's your line for evil? And you kind of been on the nature side. Just because we look at them and we don't agree with their ideas doesn't mean that it's evil.
Yes.
Interesting. That's interesting.
Yeah. Just like there's this little Dicky, I think it's what is it called? The Earth or something. I can't remember. It features the brain in it. I can't remember the name of the song, but he talks about like the girl that he's on a date with, like vegetarian, and then has a leather purse or something. He's like, you think if there was wolves out there, like they would just not eat us?
Literally. That's why I tell
That's
Irvina,
where
I'm
it's
like,
like
if
the
I go,
nature.
I'm trying to get Irvina to eat meat.
Is she vegetarian?
She eats fish.
What's that like?
Pescatarian.
Pescatarian.
Yeah. I'm like, if I go out and I hunt and get an old buck that was going to probably get eaten by a mountain lion out there and going to starve in the winter, and I just put him out quickly and brought him back and covered it up, you wouldn't eat it? I mean, that's like what our ancestors did for thousands of years. People were hunter-gatherers, following the herd, eating the fish, you know?
So that's where it's also, again, that's a luxury of our nature of like, you don't have to eat meat anymore if you don't want to, if that's your choice, you know?
Yeah.
Like we live in where you can go to the grocery store and buy whatever you need, you know?
Yeah.
But that's where also like how a lot of people view hunters, like some people hate it and think they're so evil. But I was like, if there's certain people that are like trophy hunters, like I can see the disagreement there. If you're doing it just to mount that animal up in your room.
Yeah.
But if you're doing it to survive off the meat,
yeah,
that's one thing. That's again, like the mountain lion killing it, the bunny, is it killing it for fun or is it killing it to survive?
Yeah. But even there in
resource.
the trophy hunting, still in a gray area too, because the money that they pay, the extravagant amounts of money, goes to conservation efforts.
Yeah. So that's that going back to like the whole thing at the beginning with the new puppy store. I don't know where where they're getting the puppies from, what they're funding, you know? So I was like, they could be doing a lot of great things, but people are just protesting based off of the, you know, face value of what they know. And that's why I didn't want to give an opinion of my own. Cause I'm like, I don't know anything about that company and what they do, you know? Yeah. And like I said, if I'm opening a company that deals with dogs, I probably like dogs.
Yeah. It just sucks. It feels like we're doomed. I feel like we're doomed.
There's going to be someone pissed off on either side, no matter what.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the burden you pay for free will. It's like if we're going to let people make their own choices, which God has put us in a place where we're going to have free will, whatever you believe God is, we're here making our own choices. Maybe you're a, what do you call it when you believe in destiny? Deterministic. And, you think everything's already plotted out and we don't get to make our own choices. We just might as well kill yourself now then. You know what I mean? Cause it's like, you're not going to make any choices, but are you even making that choice? That one turns into a pit of despair. Yeah. I think free will keeps a bit of glimmer of hope. It's like you can align your stars to make your life whatever you want it to be.
I guess I'm kind of like in the middle of that. Like the whole, everything happens for a reason, but I feel like it's also almost more butterfly effecty of like, you get to choose the path. That's your free will. And then here's the butterfly effect of that choice.
But the problem with free will is, if I completely love free will, I completely love freedom. I want people to make their own choices. But when you let people make their own choices, you get chaos. And that's why it's like, if you have kids, we have a family household, and you just say, you know what, you kids do your thing. No structure for me. You have to put some structure for them to become functioning in this natural world where it's survival of the fittest.
That's where I feel like, you know, like history, you know, is just, those are all just notes to teach us, you know, how to be the most efficient, best structured human we can be, in a sense. That's why I actually just went to Disney World recently. And the amount of like history there was awesome. Like talking about like technology and like the rides that they had, like showing like, there's this one, it's called the Wheel or something, but it was like started off in like the 1940s of what a living room looked like. And then it would rotate to like generations,
each version, each upgrade,
you know, and show like how similar we still are, but just advanced in a sense. But, you know, like that's what structure, and I guess being a good parent and stuff is just based off of what we've learned growing, like through generations of, you know, like things like where, we used to smoke in the car with no seatbelts. Now we've learned, hey, this is why we don't do that anymore.
But then if you decide I don't want my seatbelt on, you get a ticket.
But I view that as the same. I understand that because the officer that has to go clean up your dead body, that's a bad day for him.
Yeah.
When it could have been prevented if you wore a seatbelt.
Yeah, I think it's a worse day for the guy who's dead.
Yeah, but at the same time, like having to see that and clean it up, like, you know what I mean? Like it's still not a good day for them. And if it could be something that could be prevented by
the statistics obviously countered so much that they changed the laws for it, because the statistics were just outstandingly on pro seatbelt. You're going to more likely survive. So there's a point where you can't argue that. But then you look at what about cigarettes versus weed?
Free will, yeah.
You know, I mean, you deserve to get locked in a cage if I find you with this plant that grows naturally, and God gave us the herbs and the animals. But if I catch you with this plant that literally has no overdose effect and this just makes you giggly and want to eat stuff. You're going in, I'm putting you in a cage and you don't deserve freedom anymore. But here's some tobacco that's literally, we got the statistics on people are dying from lung cancer here. That's fine. But if you don't have your seatbelt on, it's just like pick and choose. That's weird. 3 body problem. I wanted to talk about this because I've been thinking about the morality thing, how it's like a luxury. Have you seen 3 body problem on Netflix yet?
3 body problem?
Yeah, it's a new Netflix series. It's a sci-fi. I read the trilogy book series. It's by Cixin Liu, a Chinese author. It's a Chinese book. It's amazing. And they're getting ready for like this alien invasion pretty much. And they get into this standoff where they're like willing to blow up we're willing to blow up Earth with our nukes because the aliens need Earth because their world is fucked pretty much. So there's a standoff and these people supervising the project jump through eras of time in hibernation chambers to make sure this project is sought out through properly during a time frame. And they wake up in one era and everyone's super feminine and they can't even tell if there's boys at all because even the boys seem very feminine and everyone's so gentle and sweet and like childlike and just seem pure and it seems great. Everyone's having a great time. And they talk to one of the guys who was in the hibernation chamber and they think he's like barbaric, like almost primitive looking because men aren't like that anymore. Yeah. And they've outgrown the need for men. They've found cohesion and balance. And now we just all live amongst each other. We don't need the ego of masculinity around anymore. And it seemed like a good idea until their enemies caught them sleeping and fucked them in the ass because they think everyone's about pure kindness, but some people still aren't. And as long as you live in a world where someone's, a masculine thing is out there wanting to put a boot in your ass, you're going to need a masculine guy to stop that boot from getting in your ass. So it's like the morality thing, caring about what you have, like, what are we being right to the fish? Are we being right to this animal? Are we, buying the right puppies? While we're living in a world where people want to destroy us, it's kind of a funny conundrum. Yeah.
And see, that's where I view like I did a agricultural class when I was in college and we had to slaughter a pig and that was honestly awful. Like how to do this nail to the head and slit its throat.
Oh, really? Like a bolt thing?
Yeah. So it's like a bolt gun? It's like a stun gun to the, it's like a nail to the brain real quick. And then we slit its throat and then we close this trailer and they basically runs around and bleeds out like schooling. Yeah. And so that was damn, I feel like if I had to do that every day, I probably would be vegetarian, but it's more of
until you're hungry.
But the way I view it is I'm just thankful that there are people in this world that can do those jobs and handle that, You
ever watch Survivor?
I haven't actually.
Survivor, the reality show you live on the island.
Of it, yeah.
So people literally, they go for weeks without food. And there's people who go on there that are vegetarian and won't eat fish and stuff. After a few days, let me get a bite of fish. I'm going to break it for this. Your body goes, we need to eat, motherfucker. I don't give a fuck if it's a
survival instinct. Just going back to the animal, it's killing because it needs to eat and survive.
And not because it's luxury of having morality.
Because it's intense not to cause harm to that bunny and to its family. Yeah. Its intention is, I need you to help me survive. And that's why I've kind of viewed the other people in agricultural fields that I'm thankful that you guys do that job because I could not. Yeah. But it provides for me to be able to eat and eat the things that I want to eat,
Yeah, you could though.
It's if I got to the point where I was in straight up survival mode like that, oh yeah.
I feel like it's a part of
it's a survival instinct.
Do you pray before you eat?
I do not.
Yeah, I don't either much. I try to sometimes. I used to when I was a kid. When I was a Mormon kid, we would pray before we eat. Thank you, God, make this nutritious for us. And I think that's a really good concept because it makes you be appreciative.
It's an appreciating your meal.
But I always wanted to kill. I would do the chicken killing and we would slit goats' necks and hang them upside down in trees so they bleed out into buckets and stuff like that when I was growing up. Fishing too. So it's I felt like I didn't want my mom to have to kill the chickens because I didn't want her to deal with it. So I felt like I need to step up. Who does want to do this? I don't think anybody wants to unless you're a fucking psycho like Dahmer. Yeah. But it's I felt like it was an obligation that if I'm going to eat it, I should kill it.
I can respect that in the sense of, but it's and I guess that's where I'm the opposite. I'm thankful for the person that's willing willing and capable to do it. It's I know if it came down to surviving, I could do it. I'm thankful that I'm in a position where I don't have to do it myself.
Yeah, that's a good thing to be thankful for.
Yeah, and that's where it's like, but I think that class made me appreciate my food more too. You know what I mean?
It's a fucked up class.
It was a food agricultural food, but like
it's farmer work.
Really
people have been doing
it's
it
really
forever.
to see like where your food comes from. That's where it was like even all aspects, like even plants and stuff. Like, but that's where
grocery stores are relatively new. Like we have things from all over the world and this little store all over our town. You just go in, here's a pepper from Peru and here's some fucking lamb from Mexico and here's some fish from Alaska and here's everything.
And it desensitizes a lot of like where it comes from because you just see this packaged thing of meat, You don't see a cow. You see.
Yeah. Well, now I saw one time they were like putting the names of the cows on there. Like Wendy, you killed Wendy.
I think that was like a protest thing. I think like PETA did that.
Yeah. I always felt so bad. Like sometimes there'd be sick cows and we had to go put them down and I would feel so bad about that. I don't like killing big animals.
Big animals?
Big animals. It gets sadder the bigger they are. The smaller they are, it's like, I can deal with this. It's like it's lesser life. A bug, I just squish it.
See, that's where I've even noticed. Like, I don't like if I can say like there's certain bugs I'll just straight up kill on site.
Yeah,
but
the spiders are kind of cool.
Yeah,
like they
spiders.
Kill the flies.
That's all. If I can catch a spider and let it outside, I'll do that.
Yeah.
Same thing with a fly. If I catch it without killing it, I'll throw it outside.
And your girl's okay with that?
I mean, I never really had a conversation about it. I just something I do.
When my girl sees a spider, it's like, you know what I mean?
On site.
It's like, it's on site. Kill that thing right now. Get it out of here. Sometimes she'll want it to live.
Well,
but you're killing it when you throw it outside in the winter still too.
Yeah.
It's like, you're banished.
At least I'm not killing it. The environment is.
Yeah. It is nature. If you could have built a fire, it's on you.
Yeah. That sucks to suck.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you so much for coming on my podcast, dude. I got to pee and I got to go to the gym and get shit done today too. So I'm going to have to wrap it up here.
Oh, yeah.
But I love you, dude. I love your work. I love
you.
Your fucking barbershop is the shit. And I can't wait till your grand opening. When is that?
April 27th, Saturday. It's going to be from 4 to 6 is the plan.
It has good
I'll
vibes.
start marketing that more too.
Hell yeah.
So giveaways, come check it out. It's going to be awesome.
Jesse Andrus, ladies and gentlemen.
I am Jesse Andrus.
And I am Jason Turner. And this is Boss Going to the Table.
And we are signing out.
Goodbye.